So we couldn't even go a day. We cannot even go a day without an article like this coming out. WNBA Shakira Austin says Caitlin Clark injuries drama has made things worse for other players. I'm sure it has, but like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Shakira Austin is one of those players that has made it worse for. If anything, the Caitlin Clark effect has gave unrivaled more money and she made more money. But I've read what she said. She didn't say anything that bad. The problem is now is that journalists are looking for clicks. Journalists are looking for clicks, and the players answer with some of the crazy, so not even crazy answers. They answer with stuff that can always be clipped up, taken completely out of context. And I stand by that because every time a player or the commissioner or anything says, even suggests that, the rookie class last year was good for the WNBA because, more people are watching and it's a good thing that more people are getting to see the sport, they get killed. They get their heads called for. But, yeah, so apparently the drama has made things worse for other players. So we're always going to feel like we have to deal with ignorant people. Yeah, you're an athlete. No offense, you are an athlete. Like, I have had to deal with, nonsense for years, and it happens. What happens, Shakira Austin is in probably a similar spotlight that I was in back in my, real peak on YouTube. Back in the pandemic, I was getting 10 million views a month. There was hate threads on forums about me. There were, mad stuff, and that is just an unfortunate consequence that comes with more eyes on your product. It's an unfortunate consequence that comes with fandom, fans. That is just unfortunate. Unfortunately, as when we're just in the back end of that stick. I'm sorry, LeBron is it worse than anyone. We just keep fighting, trying to find our real communities, trying to find people to support us, in a sense, just ignoring these trolls. That's exactly what we should do. And I mean that. The one thing is that these players, unfortunately, and this is the one thing I always say with trolls, they try to find a weak point. Trolls will go after, anyone who's been in a position where you've had to deal with internet trolls, is they will always go for whatever they deem is your weak point. Whether that be, or what they deem will get under your skin. Whether that be gender-related stuff, whether that be race-related stuff, whether that be xenophobic stuff. As an Irish man in basketball, to think that doesn't happen. But again, I don't even think what she said here, is that bad, because I wouldn't, it is unfortunate. She said it's gotten worse the past year. The whole Caitlin Angel thing is pretty bad. And yeah, obviously, look, it has probably gotten worse. But the reality is it was probably worse in 2023 than it was in 2022. And it's probably worse in 2022 than it was in 2021. And I mean, the wobble. It might not have been worse than that, but that's the thing. She came into her rookie year in 2022, which is the lowest point for WNBA. So, I mean, no one watched that year. You got to give credit to the Aces and the Liberty. Especially the Aces, because up to the Aces building the damn super team, I don't think anything happened. There was nothing for the league. Many a point that Clark has wise received extensive media coverage and attention due to race. Yeah, that's bullshit. I'm sorry, it's bullshit. It's the exact same way as Steph Curry. That's the thing. She shoots the ball from 40 feet. There are two reasons why players get super media coverage, and it is either they dunk the ball a lot and they're really exciting to watch, or they're like a Steph Curry, a Trae Young. They have that three ball. That is Caitlin Clark. And if you just go and watch the rest of the players in the league, there's no player that even comes close to Caitlin Clark. And ironically, the most fun players to watch in college, I'm not going to put Kiyomi McMillan in there because she's just mad. I don't know what stories with her. She could be great. I don't know. We'll see. But Full Wiley, Tania Latson, when these players come in, heck, one of the funniest things is the amount of people who became Kennedy Carter fans over the season, because Kennedy Carter was a dynamic guard. The thing is that the WNBA has not promoted dynamic guards. And if you want to say, I've heard people refer to Chelsea Gray as a dynamic guard in the WNBA. And that just kind of sums up the dynamic guards. And let's be real, nobody has ever said, no neutral fan has ever said, that Joel Embiid game is on later today, we need to watch that. But in Steph Curry's prime, the amount of casual fans were we need to watch Steph, and it's a similar thing. Putting the Clark Reese base, Aside, hate on social media is upsetting, especially in a space that is so inclusive. Yeah, social media is not a space that is inclusive. Genuinely, like, it's getting tiring seeing the same comments. Austin says, I get calls from my dad being like, oh my God, I want to say something to this troll. I'm like, Dad, no, just ignore them, which is the best way to do it. And I actually have to say, what Shakira Austin is saying to do is the best way. And these people are just commenting on stuff online. And the reality is, my favorite part about this is that, like, you are seeing companies hiring the trolls. And then when you look back, like 10 years ago, AJ Wilson was one of the trolls. And I would say there are more WNBA players who you could look back and find out that they were the internet trolls of their day. And it's just something that happens. Like, you've seen it in the NBA, that there are literally current players that were the internet trolls back in the day. And it is unfortunate, but it happens. With the growth of the game, we're dealing with even more of a fight for accepting us and understanding us. I don't think internet trolls have anything to do with that, in fairness. Like this whole thing, it's just, I don't even think your answers are that bad. I just think it's dumb answering the question. Like, I genuinely think that it's a dumb question to answer. Like, people don't realize that these journalists are trying to get you to say negative stuff about Caitlin Clark because that's what gets more clicks. And you'll see it on this video. This video is probably going to get more clicks than anything I've posted in the last couple of days. Is because they are literally on for players. They are trying to get players to say something negative about Caitlin Clark or say something negative about Angel Reese. Like, that is literally what these journalists are trying to do. And the unfortunate thing is for the WNBA players is the more you feed the trolls, the more they multiply. Like, never forget. We can never forget the Dr. Philip Oliver Holes scenario with Dejanay Carrington. Or when Diamond Shields was posting the stuff being said to her by an apparent Caitlin Clark fan, but then when you clicked into that page, it was somebody advertised. It was an OnlyFans account. Somebody posting rage bait to get you to click onto their Instagram and buy their OnlyFans. Like, that's just the thing with the internet, and it's evident that when it comes to these players, they have absolutely no idea how to navigate the internet. And it's not something. And the thing is, though, it's not really something that you understand straight away. It isn't. And, like, whether it be in anything, just navigating the internet's not an easy thing. And a lot of these WNBA players are chronically online as well, which is a flaw too. Like, it's definitely a flaw. Like, you can see what you want to see. And you can see what you want to see. Like, I can go and look at the WNBA Reddit, type in my name, and read hate threads on me. Or I can choose not to. But that's the reality is on the internet. Like, Shakira Austin, she's been injured. She's been injured on and off. She doesn't play very much because of her injuries. She had a few really poor games Unrivaled, especially because she was on a team with she was on a team with Fee Collier, who has some fans. She was the weak link for quite a lot of Unrivaled. Did pick it up towards the end of Unrivaled. And, like, if she has a good game against Angel Reese, people are going to attack her on social media. If she has a bad game, Lynx fans are going to attack her. If she's injured, Mystics fans are going to go at her on social media. But that's the thing is, like, when it comes to these players, you choose whether or not to be chronically online. Because if you just delete the Twitter app on your phone, all you see, by the way, are, like, more fans than ever coming to your games. You're getting to play in sold out arenas. Eventually, no matter what team you're going to be playing on, you're going to be playing in a 10,000 plus seater stadium. You're going to be training very soon in state-of-the-art facilities. And especially for somebody like Shakira Austin, who genuinely has the ability to be an all-star at some stage, you might be playing in a packed all-star weekend, which could almost rival NBA all-star weekend. So, yeah, it is a weird situation to look at, because I actually understand where these players are coming from, especially players that have never had to deal with this. Like, they always went on social media and you could have an 0 of 27 game and people would be positive towards you. You could miss an entire season and no one would care. And that's just the problem when it comes with fans. Like, you have to take the good with the bad when it comes with more fans. And with more fans, more money. It shouldn't be the case. It should not be the case. But more fans, more eyeballs leads to more scrutiny. And is the case in every single field. It is absolutely the case in every single field because, let's be real, Twitter especially has given people the ability to say whatever the hell they want and get a following for it. And look, it's not changing. That's not going to change. Nothing's going to change. And what these players don't understand is, even if it wasn't Caitlin Clark, like you can't act like the South Carolina fans, super fans, aren't equally as bad as the Caitlin Clark super fans as far as the stuff they say. You can't say the Angel super fans are any different. You can't say the Page super fans are any different. You can't say the Liberty or the Aces super fans are any different. That's the thing, is like, the super fans, the super toxic, as someone who's a big football fan, and you see some of the stuff on football Twitter, like, that is just the reality of the situation. It's the same in the NBA. It's the same in football. A lot of the super fans are will say some horrible stuff towards rival players or sometimes their own players. And the best thing for these players to do is do what I always say. As Stephen A. Smith might say, stay off the tweet. Stay off the Twitter. All these players have to do is stay off Twitter, and every single change that has happened to the WNBA has been a positive one. But if you're chronically online, you can look at the best thing that ever happened to this league as a negative. Because if you search for negative stuff, and I don't even mean like individually searching for things on Twitter, but if you've had a bad game, if you know something's gone on, and you know that the stuff that's going to be said about you on Twitter is bad, and you still are actively doom scrolling, then you're effectively searching negativity. And that could be one of the worst things. That could be one of the worst things you can do. And it just seems like the players are unwilling to do that, and they're making every excuse in the book, blaming everything, other than the fact that, just like every single other sport in existence, your sport is now big enough that you have super fans in a positive way, and you have super trolls. You have all the stuff that other sports have had to deal with for a decade. Anyway, I'll see you guys.